All right, ladies and gentlemen, MrSotko here. Welcome back to the channel. Got a whole bunch of good news stuff for you as usual, but before I get into the main topic, I just want to say that Sotko Fest starts tomorrow and runs through December 9th. I'm going to be live just about all day, so follow me on Twitch for gaming, crypto chat, community stuff, all that good stuff, and I hope to see you guys there. But let's get right into it here. So Dan Larimer, the developer and visionary behind several networks, or EOS, has hinted at yet another project, and this time it's a pure cryptocurrency that could be compared to Bitcoin. Awesome, I guess, because we got EOS, which turned out to be not that great, pretty centralized, and has a constitution that can just basically rip your coin away whenever they want, and 21 node operators that make $3 million a year. Awesome, really great for $4 billion. Remember, they raised $4 billion, four of them, and then they took 10% of the coins, which is usual, but that equated to about $5 billion, $5.5 billion at the time. So Larimer's move resembles his past behavior, which has made him notorious to cryptocurrency components. So in the past, he started with the BitShares project, the first version of delegated proof-of-stake ecosystem. And BitShares became notorious for allowing exchanges to also become the biggest block producers. And then there was Steemit, which is a second-based project on DPoS, where Larimer had a large stake of digital assets. But the founders of Steem vested down their holdings in the summer of 2018, leading to losses for the project, and then laying off 70% of their staff. And as for EOS, Larimer claims he is still going to be close to Block.1, but the governance has been handed over to the block producers, and various councils that have their deal with the way of achieving consensus on the EOS network, and they raised $4 billion. $4 billion that they raised with their ICO. And we have EOS to show for it, which is a coin that could be basically made for, you know, hiring a programmer for $100,000, literally. So this was on Twitter about it. It says, I'll say it again, I'm not leaving EOS. In the process of working on EOS security and scalability, I stumbled upon a new set of trade-offs for a potential crypto token, and I've merely been exploring whether there is a market for those trade-offs. So he's basically saying, in my eyes, he's like, hey, the $4 billion wasn't enough. All the Steemit money wasn't enough. Everything just wasn't enough for me. $4 billion plus Steemit plus the 10% EOS tokens. They just weren't enough. They weren't enough for me. I'm just going to kind of step away from the project. We're going to leave it all up to the node producers who make $3 million a year for going like this. This is what you do as a node producer. That's me turning on the node. That's it. $3 million. $3 million. Only 21 people selected, or 20, or who cares at this point? So this is hypothetical token. This hypothetical token would be immutable, non-programmable, and limited to a currency role. It would in no way compromise the much larger use cases of EOS applications. So Bitcoin, basically? Don't we already have Bitcoin? And that's basically what this tweet is about. I don't know who this person, this tweeter man, real life tweet person is. EOS mainnet didn't even make it a year before Dan decided to go work on something else, which sounds a lot like Bitcoin. That's Bitcoin. We already have that. Yeah, that's Bitcoin. Immutable, non-programmable, limited to a currency role. Bitcoin. It's literally Bitcoin. Why would you go and make a different project when EOS still needs all the help it could possibly get? And they literally had to make bounty programs, even though they have $4 billion, billion dollars, not million, billion dollars, that they could make like, they could buy basically all of Manhattan with $4 billion, but they're like, let's make a bounty program where other people can find our bugs for us. So, like, what were you doing with the money? Like, if you can't find your own bugs, now, mind you, bounty programs are good because the mass majority of the population can find bugs pretty easy. I get it. But, like, what were you doing with your $4 billion? Like, where did that money go? Did you have so many employees that you needed to pay them $4 billion? I just highly doubt that. Like, where did the money go exactly? It's kind of like Verge. Where did all those donations go? I don't understand. The crypto world. Oh, God, guys. I'm just, Moving on to the next article, Max Keiser. interview, Bitcoin will gobble up all fiat and raise over $100,000, or rise over 100,000. So if anybody doesn't know who Max Keiser is, he's on RT News a lot, which is basically Russia Today, which never talks about Russian news whatsoever and just bashes America and the rest of the world. And then they had the audacity and balls to make a Russia Today America, so RT America, where they only bash America the entire time and don't talk about Russia. So how is it Russia Today? I have no idea. But he's on there all the time on the Max Keiser report, and he has a voice like that. He talks like Max Keiser. But he's a cool cat because he's a proponent of Bitcoin. So the Bitcoin protocol is genius, and the more you understand it, the more clarity you achieve. With this in mind, let me answer your questions. The Bitcoin price got way ahead of itself. We saw a typical pullback since I first started buying Bitcoin in 2011. This is from the words of Max Keiser. At $1, I've seen a few of these. A long-term chart is fine. It's still bullish. Keep in mind, my cost basis is under $200. So we have given virtually no attention to ICOs because, as I said on my show, ICOs are securities and fall under the regulatory jurisdiction of the SEC. And as a former Wall Street stockbroker, I am trained never to try and second-guess the SEC. So when tech bros approached me with their opinion on how the SEC should rule, and what the SEC doesn't understand, I laugh, and I said it all over my 30-year career. Max Keiser report. Human nature never changes. Insta-wealth makes people think they're bulletproof. So we never left the financial crisis. The number of zombie banks and zombie corporations has increased, and Max Keiser has kind of a conspiratorial approach at like literally everything he says, but that's okay. Masked by Fed money and accounting tricks like leveraged stock buybacks, although he's probably right about everything. The disclosures and malinvestments have steadily increased. The social metrics like infant mortality and life expectancy continue to fall apart. What does this have to do with Bitcoin? I have no idea, Max Keiser. And the long-term trend is intact and will continue its upward path. Against the Bolivar, Bitcoin and gold have had incredibly powerful upward moves. Only using the US dollar to map Bitcoin's performance and impact is short-sighted and misleading. Think global. No, too centralized. The protocol has rejected these bad actors, and this is what Bitcoin maximalism is all about. Understanding that only Bitcoin has the power to create a fiat-free world while simultaneously destroying all that get in the way. Max Keiser. Bitcoin is a monetary black hole that will gobble up all fiat and rise to more than $100,000 doing it, but humans themselves may never see that day. So, wait, on that last one, whoa. Let's hit the reverse button. Let's hit the reverse. I got a little remote here. Let me rewind it. But humans themselves may never see that day? So, like, only robots? Or, like, AI? Or, like... Max Keiser, you got me again with your crazy conspiratorial stuff. What do you mean humans may never see the day? So just like animals will be using, or like aliens will come, or like futuristic AI robots will be like, where's my Bitcoin? Who knows? But I gotta say it one more time, guys. This is Max Keiser on the Max Keiser Report. Sorry, I had to do it one more time. I love doing it. Anyway, moving on to Zcash. So I'm not going to read this whole article, but Zcash price raises on its Coinbase listing. So Coinbase has listed Zcash, and it started Thursday. So it started yesterday, I think, late at night, and it was in 4 stages. So there was a transfer only stage and a post only stage, etc. It was initially accessible for users in UK and the European Union, Canada, Singapore, Australia, and the US was lagging behind as usual because of the SEC. And it might be we got to watch out because it might be a commodity or whatever. What did Max Keiser just call it? What did Max Keiser call it? Securities. Oh my God, I can't believe I forgot the word securities. Come on, guys, this is live. Except just recording live. You know what I'm saying. So anyway, they fear that it could be a security, so it always takes a little while longer. But anyway, so it is on Coinbase now. Coinbase Pro, or GDAX, which was way better name, way more professional. Coinbase Pro sounds like you're buying Dollar General mac and cheese or something. I don't like it one bit. But it's only in USDC. So they're taking all the potentially securities coins, even though it has its totally own blockchain, it's absolutely not a security, and putting it on USDC. So they're doing this with a lot of the new coins. They did it with BAT, and they did it with Zcash so far. And I don't think any other coin is only USDC. So the new coins, they really want to shill that USDC. So we're going to see something horrible happen with the USDC at some point. But they only want to shill USDC. And it has been going down since, so like it started off kind of high and then pumped. So I don't know why the article says that the price jumps, because it was already higher, then it dipped, then it went back up, but who knows? So it's about $80 right now. 79 at the moment. So Zcash absolutely took a gigantic hit. I remember when Zcash was $300-$400. Let's see what Zcash was at its all-time high, actually. Why not? Let's do it for fun. We're all just having fun here. Let's do a 1 year. Oh, no, we were at $882. So, yeah, I was totally way off. I don't even remember it at that high. Oh, because it was all the way in January. That makes sense. But, yeah, so it's on Coinbase now. So if you guys want to trade that, awesome. But you have to use USDC, which is probably the devil. So the SEC finally hits Floyd Mayweather and DJ Khaled with fines for the unlawful ICO promotion of Centra. So if you guys haven't seen it, there are some videos out there with Floyd Mayweather saying, I love to go out, and basically he's like sitting in a hotel and he's basically saying, I love my Centra card. And it's like a little Visa logo on it and a Centra card. So this ICO called Centra with a C decided that they would make an ICO and a coin and say that they were partnered with Visa, or it might have been MasterCard, or both, when in reality they were not. So Floyd Mayweather was basically in a hotel room saying, I love my Centra card, when the Centra card was fake. It never had any partnership. It never existed. They just made up a card for him to do that. So he basically promoted something that he knew nothing about, didn't use, which is probably the case in a lot of situations, but it was an absolute scam. And so paying the penance for the excess of 2017, so in the halcyon days of 2017, there's the picture right there with his little Centra card, and he's like in some kind of hotel room, or maybe that's his house or something, posing with his Centra card. So everyone seemed to be launching ICOs, buying into ICOs, and shilling ICOs in the cold light of 2018. However, many of these projects failed, and a handful of them have been prosecuted, and an unknown number are believed to be under investigations for securities violations. Tweets such as, you can call me Floyd Crypto Mayweather from now on, and Khaled's game-changer description of Centra after receiving $50,000 payment from the project have come back to haunt the pair. So sitting there and going, for $50,000, sign me up, but I guess not for the trouble afterwards, so forget about it. These cases highlight the importance of full disclosure to investors, said Stephanie Avakian of the SEC's Enforcement Division. Ooh, the Enforcement Division. With no disclosure about the payments, Mayweather and Khaled ICO promotions may have appeared to be unbiased rather than paid endorsements. While ICOs have not died despite the prolonged bear market and spat of the SEC enforcements, the era of celebrity endorsements is effectively now over. Except not really, except they just have to say that they were paid for it, or it has to say it somewhere on the page, I suppose. So Mayweather agreed to, without admitting or denying the findings, Mayweather and Khaled agreed to pay disgorgement penalties and interest. So Mayweather agreed to pay $300,000, a $300,000 penalty, and $14,000 pre-judgment interest. And Khaled agreed to pay $50,000, $100,000, and $27.25 respectively. So they basically got paid $50,000 to do this, and then ended up having to pay. Oh well, Floyd Mayweather had to pay $614,000 and $775. $14,000, $775. Oh my God, I can't talk today. Holy crap! So he basically had to pay over $600,000 for promoting something for $50,000. I swear I could talk. It's a real thing. I can do it. So research exposes anti-Bitcoin bias in mainstream media, as the next article. So recent research on the tone and frequency of cryptocurrency coverage in the mainstream media over the past 5 years suggests that some news outlets appear to be much more biased against Bitcoin than the norm. You think so? Oh, wow. You needed a lot of research for that, but let's go into it. So blockchain-focused research company Clover surveyed 7,527 cryptocurrency-related articles from 48 media outlets from January 1st to July 31st. So January 1st, 2013 to July 31st, 2018. It used an algorithm to assess the broad sentiment expressed in each article. The research found in the mainstream media didn't really pay much attention to cryptocurrencies until they started climbing in value. But what these news outlets really liked was to report about crash prices, even during the great bull run of 2017. Coverage spiked during sudden declines in the market value, and the downturn from the peak at the end of the year created a press frenzy as the number of articles shot up. So this is actually a little bit interesting, and I want to show you guys this chart down here. But before I do that, and unlike Floyd Mayweather, I'm about to get paid $1,000. Oh, man. Boom! You see that explosion? You know that's flavor. Wow, wow, wow. It tastes like Flintstones vitamins in carbonated water. That is Red Bull. Boom! $1,000. Anyway, let's move on. So the total number of online cryptocurrency articles, and this is kind of interesting. So it shows Forbes is overwhelmingly positive. So the pink on this side is positivity and the blue is negativity. CNBC overwhelming, well, somewhat negative. Wall Street Journal overwhelmingly negative, Business Insider positive, and basically the rest of them, for the most part, are all negative. There are a few positives here. We have Mashable and CNET, HuffPost, USA Today is a little bit more positive, but you can see the majority of them are all negative, which could lead to a negative sentiment about Bitcoin, because a lot of people are watching the news, and a lot of people with a lot of money are sitting there, a lot of old people just sitting around waiting to invest into something. And they're watching the news, and they hear, you know, Jamie Dimon bashing Bitcoin. They see it being bashed, and the prices dumping, and people calling it a bubble on the news. And it's not a good sentiment for crypto when that happens. So, yeah, again, Zcash is on Coinbase Pro now, which I absolutely hate that word. I hate saying it every time. It hurts me inside, at least a little bit. The market is at $130 billion. So we are going back down. So was there a bull run? It's not looking like it. But if it happens, it's going to happen. And you're going to wake up to a huge price increase. And nobody's going to be able to call it anyway. But I really thought this year, excuse me, that there would be a bull run in the beginning of December, although it is not December yet. You know, we'll have to see if there is a bull run in the first couple weeks of December, and I believe that on the 19th or so of December, this is sort of my guess, that's when prices are really going to dump, and we'll have to see if backed futures in January 24th is going to raise the price of crypto or not, and if it does not, then we have January, February, March. We have some very poor months for crypto investment, which are usually pretty low on the charts, and usually sort of all-time lows for the year is the beginning of the year typically. There's some kind of decline in at the beginning of February or at the end of January, that sort of thing. And so that's the only thing that's going to help the prices. So if the prices don't bull run at all in December, and you know they just continue to decline, and back doesn't help it, we're in for maybe $4,000 or $3,000 Bitcoin for quite a while now. But I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Make sure you guys follow me on Twitch. There is a link in the description below. It is the second to bottom link. And if you don't have a Twitch account, go ahead and make one so you can join in on Sotko Fest. Go ahead and follow on there, and it'll give you notifications to your email. I'm going to go live December 1st tomorrow at noon Arizona time. All you got to do is just Google that. Just type in noon AZ time, and it'll show you the time for you in Google. And I hope to see you guys there. If you're not there right away, just hop in sometime during the day, say hi, talk about crypto, talk about politics, talk about whatever you want. There are really basically no rules for the most part. Just don't be a troll, I guess. Try not to. I know it's hard sometimes. But I hope to see you guys there. It's going to be a real good time. It's going to go on for like 8 or 9 days. But I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I really do. I want you to enjoy the episode. And I'll see you guys next time.